I get it when you're staring at that sparkling blue pool and thinking about the endless hours you'll spend scooping leaves, sand, and whatever else the kids manage to fling in. You wonder if a robot vacuum is really worth the money or just another gadget that will sit idle in the garage. You're not the first person to have that hesitation, and honestly, a lot of the hype around pool cleaners can make the decision feel riskier than it needs to be. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about what a pool robot actually does in the real world. It's not a magic wand that makes your pool clean itself overnight. It's a piece of equipment that needs proper placement, a clear path, and a little patience while it learns the shape of your pool. The Dolphin Advantage Ultra is marketed with big promises like wall scrubbing power and waterline scrubbing, which sound impressive until you picture the robot hugging the tiles the way a Roomba hugs a corner. In my experience, the biggest mistake people make is assuming the robot will handle every debris scenario without any input. If you have a pool with a lot of fine pollen or a lot of leaf fall in autumn, you'll still need to skim the surface a couple of times a week to keep the robot from getting clogged. That's not a flaw of the robot itself, but a reality of pool maintenance that often gets glossed over in the spec sheet. Now, who actually benefits from the Dolphin Advantage Ultra? If you have a medium-sized in-ground pool, say, around 15,000 to 20,000 gallons with standard tile walls and a fairly even depth, this unit fits nicely into the daily routine. The active scrubbing feature means the robot has rotating brushes that actually press against the pool surface, which is a step up from the simple suction-only models that just drift along. I've seen it tackle a stubborn algae ring right at the waterline, something many cheaper bots completely miss. That makes it a solid choice for homeowners who want to keep the pool looking presentable between professional cleanings, but don't want to spend a fortune on a full-service system that requires a permanent installation. On the flip side, if you have a small above-ground pool or a highly irregular shape with lots of steps and ladders, the Advantage Ultra might feel a bit clunky. Its navigation algorithm is tuned for consistent walls and a predictable floor plan, so it can spend extra time trying to figure out how to get around a steep ladder. In that scenario, you might end up with a robot that constantly bumps into the ladder, draining battery life faster than you'd like. Also, the easy filter care claim holds true only if you're diligent about cleaning the filter after each run. The filter cartridge is straightforward to remove, but you'll notice a drop in suction if you skip that step for a week or two. That's a practical weakness. Maintenance is still required, just not as labor-intensive as older models. Let's get into some day-to-day use cases. Imagine it's a Saturday morning, you've just finished a backyard barbecue, and the pool's surface is speckled with napkin fragments and a few stray strawberries. You drop the Advantage Ultra into the water, set the timer for a 90-minute cycle, and walk away. By the time you're back to the grill, the robot has already scrubbed the walls, chased the waterline, and passed over the shallow end a couple of times. You open the cover and see a noticeable reduction in floating debris, and the tiles look brighter because the brushes have actually disturbed the biofilm that can build up over weeks. That's the tangible benefit of the wall scrubbing and waterline features. They do more than just move water around, they physically engage the surfaces that usually need a manual brush. Contrast that with a rainy week when the pool collects a thin film of algae across the surface. The robot will run, but the fine algae can slip through the brushes and settle back onto the waterline. In those moments, you'll need to combine a short surface skim with a quick shock treatment of chlorine to give the robot a cleaner environment to work in. This isn't a flaw unique to Dolphin, it's a limitation of any robotic cleaner that relies on physical contact rather than chemical treatment. The takeaway is that the Advantage Ultra shines when your pool is already in decent shape and you need a consistent, low-effort boost, not when you're trying to rescue a pool that's been neglected for months. The price point sits in the mid-range for pool robots, and that's where the value argument gets interesting. The Dolphin Legacy badge isn't just a marketing tag, it means the company has been iterating on pump efficiency and brush design for years. Compared to entry-level models that often lose suction after the first few uses, the Advantage Ultra holds its performance a bit longer, which is why you'll see a 3.9-star average from over 500 buyers. It's not